Welcome to this presentation of Cancer Highlights. Cancer Highlights is BioSeeker Group's flagship decision support tool for portfolio assessment and planning of cancer drug development. In this video presentation, we're going to describe how and where Cancer Highlights can add value to your cancer development activities, and also introduce you to BioSeeker's unique 5-pillar drug assessment methodology, which is used throughout Cancer Highlights publications. Cancer Highlights can add value to your organization through our analysis of 14 high-impact cancer focus areas. Each area is analyzed according to BioSeeker's unique 5-pillar drug assessment methodology. Each individual pillar provides rapid, accurate, and concise knowledge, and when used together, they enable decision-making that adds to a business team's bottom line on several levels. This standardized methodology makes it easy to find and compare drug development strategies in oncology, not only within one single cancer focus area, but also between different areas. Cancer Highlights is a valuable tool which can serve multiple purposes for different stakeholders within your cancer drug development activities. Typically, our subscribers mostly fall within the 4 following business functions. Within strategic planning, it helps business teams to identify peer drugs on multiple levels for benchmarking, product strategy thinking, portfolio planning, and much more. Within business development, it can help the licensing team in terms of lead identification and rationales for in-licensing and acquisition. Within R&D, it provides competitive input to the R&D organization to guide development of early product ideas and to ensure that efforts are aligned with business objectives. And finally, with respect to business analytics, it can feed analysts with target strategies for consideration for optimal treatment approaches in various cancer indications. In short, Cancer Highlights can power the wheels of your cancer drug development activities. Cancer Highlights reports on 14 cancer focus areas, divided into 3 main classes. Firstly, tumor type, secondly, mechanism, target and effect, and thirdly, compound strategy. The tumor type class involves 8 different cancer indications, while the mechanism, target and effect class is centered on 4 different drug mechanisms of action. And the compound strategy deals with antibodies and peptides in oncology. These 14 high-impact cancer focus areas are selected based upon major tumor types, high unmet medical needs, major drug mechanisms of action, and the expansion of biological drugs. The Cancer Highlights series has been developed using standardized criteria to assess drug development strategies in oncology. We call this our 5-pillar drug assessment. The 5 pillars are drug target, which covers properties of individual therapeutic targets and their R&D profiles; drug target strategy, which identifies the combination of individual drug targets into target strategies and then assesses the competition by developmental stage; compound strategy, which arranges the pursued target strategies by compound strategy selection and then assesses the competition by compound strategy; cancer indication, which arranges the target strategies by cancer indication selection and then assesses the competition by cancer indication; and finally, pipeline and portfolio planning, which integrates the pursued target strategies by company and then assesses the overall pipeline competition on the individual company level. These 5 pillars follow the pipeline development of drugs from preclinical to market in all of the 14 cancer focus areas. The aim of these 5 pillars is to objectively assess drug candidates against multiple criteria and compare these drugs with others in the pipeline, as well as approved and already marketed competing drugs. This helps you to understand and assess the impact of competitors on your own portfolio products and to optimize your own development strategies. We achieve this by mining from our rich selection of sources, including but not limited to corporate communications, scientific literature survey, public and our own proprietary databases, and interviews. Let's have a look at what these standardized criteria across the 5 pillars involve and examine key data from each pillar. Please note that the key data featured in the upcoming slides are real examples from published reports, but some data has been modified to fit the format of this presentation. The first pillar covers properties of individual therapeutic targets and their R&D profiles. Importantly, drug targets are the critical link between drugs and their role in the treatment of medical disorders. The most significant part of Pillar 1 is the presentation of the individual drug target information profiles organized by molecular function of target. Each Cancer Highlights includes 100 to 200 plus drug target information profiles, and each profile is represented by 4 entries: gene, protein, mutation, and R&D, and these 4 entries combine to give a total of 20 different fields of information. 9 fields indicated here by red boxes are linked out to external sources for information. The key value of these tables is that they provide you with an executive level of understanding of each target and its involvement in current research and development in oncology. Pillar 2 covers the transformation of individual drug targets into target strategies, which constitute the therapeutic basis for any drug, from emerging new drugs to already established ones. Each Cancer Highlights analyzes around 100 to 250 drug target strategies. It starts by giving an overview of target strategies by highest stage of development, where each stage is summarized by key data such as new, unique, and total target strategies. And each of the listed stages has its own stage-specific analysis. In the case shown here, we're examining a phase 2 specific analysis. This analysis includes a detailed presentation of which target strategies are involved from various drugs and investigators, and also checks for drug target competition amongst all drugs in the specified stage. Finally, Pillar 2 gives each target strategy a developmental profile, outlining the direct head-to-head target strategy competition by developmental stage, experienced by any specified drug regardless of a compound strategy or pursued cancer indication. The key value of Pillar 2 is that it gives you a complete overview of how many target strategies there are in a certain cancer focus area. Secondly, it highlights new, unique, and similarities amongst target strategies in development. And finally, it presents each target strategy with its own developmental profile, so that you can easily monitor the competition for a certain drug across the pipeline. Pillar 3 is about analysing compound strategies at work in any of the 14 cancer focus areas. Each Cancer Highlights report, except the compound-specific ones of course, analyses up to 8 different compound strategies. This analysis starts with an overview of present compound strategies. The featured case shown here shows all 8 available compound strategies and key data such as the number of drugs, number of target strategies, and the competition associated with each one. When you further assess any of these compound strategies, in this case antibodies, you start with a primer, which breaks down the number of drugs, target strategies, and competition both internally and in relation to other compound strategies. Then developmental profiles of each target strategy which belong to a certain compound strategy are presented, followed by drug target strategy competition among drugs of the same compound strategy. The key value in Pillar 3 is that it provides an in-depth review of up to 8 different compound strategies and pinpoints the diversity and the competition within a single compound strategy as well as between different ones. And finally, it provides detailed descriptions of pursued target strategies within each compound strategy. Pillar 4 covers selecting cancer indication by drug development. Each Cancer Highlights report, besides the indication-specific ones, analyses up to 60 plus different cancer indications. The analysis starts with a competitive summary by cancer indications. The featured case here shows 17 different cancer indications with their associated key data, such as number of drugs, number of target strategies, and competition. When choosing any cancer indication, here we will look at B-cell lymphoma, you will be presented with detailed developmental profiles of all identified drug target strategies for that cancer indication. This is followed by a drug target strategy competition assessment among drugs of the same cancer indication. The key value from Pillar 4 is that it recognises your competitive landscape by cancer indication, either present or future if you're planning an indication expansion of a current drug. It also identifies the competitive landscape and emerging drugs when you opt for a cancer indication by target strategy, compound strategy, stage of development, and importantly, the identity of competitors. Pillar 5 covers pipeline and portfolio planning by showcasing the competitive position of individual companies' cancer pipelines. Each cancer highlights analyses between 100 to 200 different companies and 150 to 500 different drugs. Each company's featured pipeline is displayed and is then followed by a competitive fallout assessment. This assessment plots the company's own drugs as color-coded open circles and competitor drugs, here defined as drugs with 100% similarity in drug target strategy, as color-coded solid circles. Each drug of the company is then presented within its own annotation table, containing drug-specific information and the competition it faces from other drugs. The key value of Pillar 5 is that, firstly, its competitive assessment answers 3 core questions important for your own gap analysis for portfolio prioritization and business planning process decisions. A, where are we? B, where is our general and specific competition? And C, what is the level of competition where we want to be? And secondly, all drugs included are annotated according not only to the organization's R&D, but also taking into account competitor drugs sharing the same target strategy. We've just seen how you can gain critical insight from one cancer focus area. Now let us show you how you can benefit from combining data between multiple reports. Because we are using our unique standardized 5-pillar methodology in each cancer focus area, it means you can easily undertake cross-analyses between any and all of the 14 cancer focus areas. We'd like to conclude by sharing with you further details on how to subscribe to Cancer Highlights. Our Cancer Highlights series is competitively priced and is already an attractive investment for many companies. As a subscriber, you will save between 65 and 75% compared to the normal single one-off copy price. Your subscription consists of 8 consecutive reports from a rolling update of the 14 different cancer focus areas. BioSeeker publishes new reports every 6 weeks, and these will be delivered directly to your inbox in PDF format. The subscription comes in 3 different types of license: single, site, and global. Our latest price information is listed in the table below. So why not subscribe today by visiting www.cancerhighlights.com/start and enjoy the benefits of Cancer Highlights at an attractive price. And finally, this slide shows you the spectrum of clients who use Cancer Highlights. As you can see, our clients range from early stage biotechnology companies, some of the emerging mid-sized players, through to big pharma such as Bayer Shearing and Sanofi Aventis. Thank you very much for your attention.